Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Anambra Show. It's Thursday, the third day of August 2023, and I hope you had a wonderful night rest. Thank you so much for always waking up with us on Good Morning Anambra Show. My name is Nonye Nwokoye. Welcome to the program. We begin this morning as usual with the press review. All right, you're welcome to the press review on the 3rd August episode of the press review. We take a look at some of our national dailies to see stories making their headlines. And of course, the program is audience participatory. You have the opportunity to call and make your own opinion count on any issue of importance to you. The phone lines are on the screen, and when the time comes, I will let you know to call in and make an input here. My name is Nonye Nwokoye, and in the studio this morning, I have Sir Jerry Obodo to help in the analysis of the papers. Good to have you.
Thank you very much, Nonye. Nigerians, in the Anambra, it's good to be here. Let us, roll together.
All right, let's begin with taking a look at some of the national dailies. The first paper for review. Okay, sorry, we have ABS website today to look at. Let's see stories trending on ABS website before we go into the papers. Now, beneficiaries of Solution Innovation District, Lord Soludo on youth empowerment. Mrs. Soludo seeks legislation against giving out underage children as servants. Osumowo shootout. Anambra CP visits injured policemen. Anambra State Assembly Speaker inaugurates a standing committee. All right, I think we've got to take the first and two stories together. Beneficiaries of Solution Innovation District, Lord Soludo on youth empowerment, and a call on Mrs. Soludo to legislate against giving out underage children as servants.
Yeah, the Soludo solution is here, is still on course. First, it started with one youth, two scales, which is, trending, and youths are benefiting. Now it's on the, the digital district. So he's on course. As per his, manifesto. Those things are in his manifesto, and, the 2070 plans of the, initiated by the former regime. So, I commend him and ask him to keep keeping on. Then on, on his wife, Mrs. Soludo, she's complementary, is complementing what the husband is doing. The Stay Healthy thing, club and all that, this one is calling on the parents and, to not to give out their children, when they are very small as a house helper or maid and servants, and also not giving them out underage marriage, So it's a call in the right direction. I urge the parents not to embark on having so many children that they cannot care for. I urge them to adopt family planning and have the number that they can confidently cater for, train them properly in the way of God, and let them be educated.
All right.
It's too much children that forces parents to give out.
Okay, let's move on. Let's see. The first paper for review, the Daily Sun newspapers. Let's see the stories making their headlines in front of the Daily Sun newspaper. Mass protests rock Nigeria. Federal government commits to fix refinery by December. We have riders there. Angry protesters pull down NAS gate, take over streets nationwide. Academic administrative activities stalled on campuses. And NLC TUC promised to storm court over contempt charge. Okay, we also have in front of the Daily Sun, Lagos NMA declares indefinite strike in 3 hospitals over colleague's death. Ministerial nomination, Oyetola Matawale, Bagudu, Lalong, 15 others make Tinubu's second list. With a rider, Northwest, Southwest get Lion's share, Southeast only 5 slots. Man dies protecting son from collapsed building in Akure. Oh, that's sad. Niger coup, ECOWAS defense chiefs meet in Abuja. Suriname's man arrested with 9.9 kg cocaine concealed in condoms gets 13 years in jail. Farmers urge federal government to collaborate with stakeholders on food security plans. And in front of the paper, we have pictures there. The number 1 picture says members of Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, Trade Union Congress, TUC, and others joined the nationwide mass action against fuel price hike and other policies in Abuja yesterday. The second picture, that's the one on the right top, says protesters pulled down a National Assembly gate. And the third picture, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu with union leaders after meeting. Okay, that's the much we have in front of the Daily Sun newspapers. Can we look at the mass protests that rock Nigeria? Federal government commits to fixing refinery by December. And, you know, some of the protesters had to, maybe, I don't know whether the gate is not strong enough. That they had to pull it down, or is it they are angry over what is going on in the nation?
Well, you know, normally it's angry, you know, and angry man can do anything. But the pulling down of the gate, it looks like the gate is not even strong, you know. So, but that's by the way. My question is, after this, what's next? After the mass protest? You know, one is that the subsidies here, we have, you know, condemned the approach of the president. You know, he should have done some homework and palliative work before this. But now that he has made mistake and we're into it, what do we do? You know, the one is that he has said that he is committing to fixing the refineries. Mm-hmm. That is what we thought that could have been done before now. But
before the removal of the subsidy.
Yes. But now that he's said the subsidy is gone, which refinery is he fixing? Is it the moribund or old
Let all the refineries be fixed now.
No, what we are saying, what I'm saying is that I think you have been hearing a term, turnaround maintenance, for ages. And the refineries were not fixed. So what I'm thinking is, let them evaluate the existing refineries. If putting in money into it will go down the drain, let him tinker with the new one. Sell those ones, scrap them. Go in for a new one. A new one will serve you for so many years instead of putting money in around maintenance.
All right, before you conclude on that, let me quickly let us know that in virtually all the papers we have here this morning, the New National Star, the Punch newspaper, the Daily Independent, The Nation, The Guardian, and of course the Daily Trust. In front of all these papers are pictures scattered around of the protest that actually happened yesterday. The New National Star captured it as nationwide protest. Labour shut down Nigeria as senators beg for their lives, with riders there say you can beat us but don't kill us. Lagos NLC demands 30,000 naira transport palliative per worker from government. Labour may suspend protest for 1 week over request from Tinubu Senate. Now, the Punch newspaper captured the same story as subsidy protest. Banks, offices shut amid rallies. Labour demands 200,000 naira wage. With riders there, NLC, TUC leaders hold emergency neck today after special meeting with Tinubu and National Assembly. A federal government youth labor leader says protests will be suspended. How protesters broke National Assembly gate. Then the Daily Independent captured the same story as federal government asked to reverse anti-poor policies, PMS price, school fees. With riders, Labour demands implementation of resolutions with government, payment of 8 months varsity teachers' salaries, fixing of refineries, support for education, health sectors. Angry protesters pulled down National Assembly complex gate. NAS raises committee vows to intervene in 1 week. Okay, and still on the protest, the Nation captured it this way. Labour talks with Tinubu on cost of living fruitful, where they have riders there also. NLC president made pledges on refineries wage award. Others, business as usual in government, private offices, banks on protest day. Protesters break down National Assembly gate. And the Guardian captured it as cabinet size near 70. Okay, that's not it, but the pictures is littered in front of the Guardian newspaper. And on the Daily Trust, Tinubu meets Labour as workers storm National Assembly, government houses. They have riders also. Port Harcourt refinery will resume operation December. That's a promise made by the president. Will address your demands in 7 days. Senate tells Labour, court summons NLC over contempt. Okay, now I think we've seen the refinery which they are to focus on. They said that Port Harcourt is going to begin work by December. This is just promise. How sure are we that these promises are going to be kept?
That's why I said that they should, evaluate the refinery and know if it could be revived. And as per the time that they are giving us. The Nigerians cannot accept failures. It has been continuous failure, turnaround maintenance. A lot of money has gone down the drain with that turnaround maintenance. And still, moribund is still not working. So if that refinery cannot take us anywhere anymore, it will be scrapped. Let's go for a new one. With the money, with the windfall that is coming out of this, subsidy
to build a new refinery.
Yes, What
happened to the one that they said owned by Dangote in Lagos that is supposed to start work by June? These are questions.
That's part
of that the government needs to answer.
That's part of conspiracy theories. That is begging for answers because Buhari was saying that. It will come on stream by June this year, only to hear that it's into importation again. So a lot of things. And
he was given license.
A lot of things are.
All right, away now from protests that rocked Nigeria yesterday. Let's move on. The New National Star, other stories making the headlines. Lalong, Bagudu, Matawale, 16 others make Tinubu's second ministerial list. This recycling of all those that have been in positions of authority in this nation. Medical doctors shut down hospitals over death of colleague in Lagos. Reps task CBN on access to 250 billion naira gas expansion fund. Niger Republic Defense Chief promises collective attention. United response by ECOWAS armed forces. Drop in crude oil supplies may trigger fuel price hike, experts warn. And the INEC, we have nothing to hide on the outcome of 2023 election. Tinubu must unbundle EFCC, ICPC. That's coming from ministerial nominee. Again, NUPRC workers picket office demand Komolafe's sack. Okay, the last but not the least, beer, other alcoholic drinks, consumers to pay more as breweries announce price increment. A lot of increment, things are still going up. Okay, I don't know which story you want to look at.
The increment is triggered by this fuel, increase. So, to fuel your car, to fuel your engine, to fuel your this, you need to spend more. And as you spend more, you try to increase the services and the products. So that's the problem, So,
okay, on the Punch newspaper, we have Oyetola Lalong, Bagudu, 16 others make second ministerial list. And other stories, Nigeria cuts power supply, ECOWAS vows to confront junta. FG deletes 18 illegal loan apps. Ondo oil producing area indigents protest unpaid bursary. Community protest demolition, 6 Sanwo-Olu's intervention. Lagos probes the doctor's death in hospital elevator, collection work. PDP inaugurates campaign councils for Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi ports. I don't know, can we look at the death of this doctor in Lagos hospital where they said he died as a collapsed elevator, fell on him. And now doctors are downing tools as a result of that. This happened once, and I think it's calling for attention. It should be calling for attention to others for safety measures in places of work. What do you think?
Yeah, it's an accident, and it's very unfortunate. The elevators need to be oiled and checked from time to time. It doesn't happen often. But it's unfortunate that it occurred. It's an accident. The doctors shouldn't take it personal. We commiserate with the doctors and the family of the bereaved. They shouldn't abandon their duty post because we don't want more people to die because of lack of attention from them. And having said that, let me talk on this ministerial list that is being thrown up. It's recycling and using it to pay back, using it to accommodate people that supported them during campaign and all that. They have virtually nothing to offer.
Can we ever have a time in this country where maybe we have an entirely new face maybe in National Assembly, in the State Assembly, the ministerial, whatever? Would there ever be a time a leader will come up to say, let me pick people that have never been in these seats. Let's try them and see how it works.
New hands.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I said that it's still same old
because
story.
Wike has been a minister for years, and from that minister, he went to become a governor in Rivers State for 8 years, and he's returning to become a minister again. The same thing with Ebonyi State, former Ebonyi State Governor, yes. Umahi. Umahi was a governor. Umahi went to Senate. He's in the Senate, and they gave him ministerial, appointment. Now, so many of them. And El-Rufai was once a minister. He went to become a governor in Kaduna State, and now back as a minister.
Yeah, so some of them didn't perform wonders as to why they should be called back. Some of them did not even pay salaries. They are owing the workers over there. They are owing pensioners, you know. So why bring them back? So we need to move away from the status quo, from the old order. And it's unfortunate it has not come.
And this saying by, you know, our governor, Chukwuma Soludo, when he was about to assume office, he said, you can't be doing the same thing the same way and expect a different result. So that's where are we actually heading to as a nation?
You can see that, you can see what we are saying play out in Soludo's,
administration.
Cabinet. Yes. You can see so many new faces, and the result is
some have never been in government.
Yes, you know, like the commissioner for tourists and diaspora and all that, Don Oyinji. He has not been in
government before.
So many, like all those people.
Commissioner for Education.
Those guys are new faces on the block, and you can see the difference they are contributing. So if you recycle the same person and you don't expect to get wonderful results.
Because it's still the same people. All right, let's move on. The Daily Independent newspaper now. Let's see other stories in front of the Daily Independent. Pessimism trails Tinubu administration's policy direction report. Crisis hit IPOB, but Nnamdi Kanu's family disagrees over sack of council. NMA orders indefinite strike in Lagos over death of colleague. FG Chevron on collision course over stevedore services at Warri Jetty. Subsidy protest, Tinubu meets with labor leaders. Okay, we've seen that. And Tinubu includes 5 ex-governors in new 19 ministerial nominees list. Okay, we've seen that. FG accused of creating competition between domestic and foreign carriers. Niger coup, UK backs ECOWAS measures to reinstate Bazoum. Okay, there's the stories in front of the Daily Independent, because we've taken all the stories that concerning the protest that rocked Nigeria yesterday. Okay.
Let me even talk more on the ministerial list.
Okay.
The cost of governance is taking chunk of Nigerian fund, and we've been promoting cutting cost of governance. If I am the president, I can do with just 1 minister per state, giving me 36. I don't need Minister of State. It's the duplication. That Minister of State comes in with his SSB. They are taking the money. Then there's a panel that was set up some time ago to harmonize the MDA's matter. The politicians jettisoned it. You have so many duplicating, parastatals and departments. So if I'm the president, I will harmonize those ones, remove those ones that are duplicating themselves, and you save a lot of money to do other job, So I advise the president not to overbloat the ministerial list. 36 is enough for him to do the
job. In front of the Guardian newspaper, actually, there's this outcry that cabinet size nears 70 as Tinubu ignores call for lean government. And I believe this call the media have actually been shouting over the years, calling on the system to come down to cost of governance. Yeah. And a lot of stakeholders have actually said it over time. But it seems, I don't know, just like you said earlier, that is like payback time for those in positions of authority.
But it's eating deep in the coffers of Nigeria. Can we talk about this Niger coup? coup.
Okay, I think we will see it again. Let's go on. The
Yeah.
Nation newspaper is next in our lineup.
Okay.
Let's see stories in front of the Nation newspaper. How government can win corruption cases by Fagbemi. ECOWAS gears up for military action in Niger. APC NEC to decide fate of National Working Committee members today. Also, we see $150 million spent on fuel importation monthly, says a central bank. Okay, ministers, Oyetola, Bagudu, Matawale, 16 others on supplementary list. Okay, we can now take the ECOWAS stories because it's also appeared here. I think in the other paper, which people say they are going to back ECOWAS to reinstate Bazoum, UK. Okay, let's look at that story.
Yeah, you know, my take on the coup in Niger and in West Africa and Africa is that democracy is being advocated now instead of military intervention. We agree, you know, but good government or governance could come from military or even you know, a civilian, and bad can also come from either of the two. If you watch the Nigerians, the Niger people, how they celebrated the coup.
I was even coming to that if UK is trying to back ECOWAS, they should also feel the pulse of the masses and know actually what they wanted. Because
that's the thing.
According to so many people that I've interacted with, they say, for a man to be ousted and people were rejoicing in that manner,
Jubilating.
it speaks a lot about the man in question, and of course what has been going on in the nation that led to his military ousting him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So you know, they jubilated because they've gone through excruciating problem with the president of that country. And, you know, bringing it to Nigeria, I can tell you that, you know, coup may not even be done by a military. When there's an election and it seems to be very, you know, fair, and somebody that has won the election or a claimed winner, and is thwarted or subverted, is a coup. So the Britain that is condemning this and condemning that should also take a look at the countries that produced good election, and the coup was done there as well. Somebody that is not does not win was declared winner, and you didn't say anything. You see, you are speaking from both sides of the mouth. So coup does not only mean military taking power. If me and you are having a matter, we have a business deal, there's a gain, you carted away all of them, you have done a coup to me. So it's not only military coup, but what I'm saying is that that country suffered under that president, and you can see that they're happy, they jubilated that the man is out. Let the military stay there for 1 year, do some cleanups, and also go back to the democratic setting.
Okay, let's run. Let's see other stories coming from the Guardian newspaper. Abubakar leads ECOWAS mission for negotiation with Niger junta. Buhari Oshimbajo absent as APC NEC ratifies Ganduje today. Military coups looking inward at democracy, governance in Africa. And after Tinubu's parley, Labour, federal government in fresh Lego tango over protests. Protests as faulty elevator kills doctor in Lagos hospital. Forensic experts lament rising digital fraud, seek federal government's intervention. All right, I don't know which story we are looking at in this, in front of the Guardian newspaper.
I think we have almost touched on those ones.
Okay, let's
but
quickly.
what I want to say is after Tinubu's parley, Labour, FG in fresh legal tango over protest. The Labour, since court has asked the parties to maintain status quo so that the substance of the matter will be heard, they should maintain it, not to be against the law. And let the president start implementing things that will make the Labour not to go back to street. Okay, for instance, the arrears that are being owed to the universities, let them start paying them. If you pay them, they won't be agitating anymore. You know, let the president, from the windfall, increase the salaries of the workers. You know, their take-home pay is not taking them home, so that when you pay them, they have dependents, they have a husband, they have wives, they have children. So, that palliative is getting down to the grassroots. I'm happy that he has maybe shelved the idea of dashing people 8,000
All right,
naira.
the program is Press Review, reaching you from ABS Television. It's audience participatory. We are yet to get your calls. The numbers are on your screen, and we expect you to call before we wrap up the show this morning. Let's look at the Daily Trust newspaper. That's the last paper we are looking at, but not the least this morning. In front of the Daily Trust newspaper, we have devaluation. Nigerian firms record 716.8 billion naira losses. Jay's banks half-year profit rises by 51%. Coup, Nigeria cuts off electricity supply to Niger. Nationwide protest, Tinubu meets Labour. Okay, we've seen that before. Ex-governors Bagudu, Lalong, Matawale, others make Tinubu's final ministerial list. Man died protecting son from collapsed building in Akure. At caucus meeting, Tinubu charges APC leaders on financial discipline. Okra disease wreaks havoc on farmers' income. Which one is okra disease again? This is the season for okra soup.
So people should run away.
I don't know.
My sister, what I was about saying that I'm happy because I said that in one of my program, the dashing of 8,000 naira. I'm happy that the president has shelved that idea because it was used during Buhari's era by the humanitarian minister, Haji Sadiq or whatever name. They manufactured so many names and they claimed that they have paid them their money and carted away billions of naira, And if you had continued with this issue of 8,000 naira, I can bet you that it will not get to the people targeted. It will still go into a private pocket. So I'm happy.
Who are even the people targeted?
I'm happy.
How many statistics do we have in Nigeria
that's the problem.
Concerning families and homes?
That's the problem. So I'm happy that he shelved that idea. You put the money into, he said he's giving 75 billion to industrialists, floating buses and all that. Those ones are better than.
All right, as we wrap up, I think it would be important to really, pay tribute to this man. I think the man should be a hero. What manner of sacrifice is this for a man to die protecting son from collapsed building in Akure?
May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. He's done the needful, he's done noble, trying to save or rescue the son. It's unfortunate. I commend him. I commend his heroic stand, not watching the child to just die like that.
All right, on that pathetic story, but bravery on the part of the man, we conclude the press review for this morning. We'd like to thank you so much for being there. And we also thank you in no small measure, Sir Jerry Obodo, for coming this morning. Thank you so much for your time.
It's my pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
My name is Nonya Nwokoye, and we have more coming up on Good Morning Anambra Show.